We're going to look at the issue of the greatest common factor, and in particular how to determine what it is if we just have a list of different terms to look at. What is our procedure? Well, we will start by looking for the greatest common divisor of any numerical coefficients. Then we'll look for the lowest power of each variable that's present in all the terms. And we'll take the product of these two things. That will give us the greatest common factor. We'll do several examples that will get more complicated as we go. Starting with 2x and 6x. Looking at 2 and 6, the largest number that will divide into both of them is a 2. So we need a 2. And there's only one variable that's present. It happens to be present in both. So we need the x. The greatest common factor is the product 2 times x. Let's make life a little more entertaining. A 3x squared times y and a 6 times x times y squared. Well, the largest number that will divide into both 3 and 6 is a 3. So we're going to need to have a 3. We notice that x is present in both of these terms. We have an x squared and we have an x. The smallest power is plain old x. So we multiply the 3 times an x. We look at y. Again, a y to the 1 and a y to the 2. The first power is smaller, so we multiply by y. Our greatest common factor is 3 times x times y. And you're itching for a more entertaining problem? So here we go. We need to find the greatest common factor of 3 times x cubed times y to the 7 times z to the 4th, and 14 times x squared times y to the 7 times z. 3 and 14 don't have any common factors other than 1. We can go ahead and write the 1 down. Sometimes it's useful to be reminded of that. X. The smallest power of x that we have is x squared. So x squared goes into our greatest common factor. Y. They both have y to the 7, so that's the smallest power of y, so we multiply by that. And z, the smallest power is z to the 1st. Notice I cross my z's so they don't turn into 2's. And this is our greatest common factor. We can rewrite that a little bit more cleanly. X squared y to the 7th times z. Okay. One more example. This one looks a little different. We have a binomial, x plus 1 raised to a power. Notice it appears in both of our terms. Let's see, looking at the numbers, we've got a 4. And the lowest power of x plus 1 that appears is x plus 1 squared. So we multiply by x plus 1 squared. Y does not appear in our second little object over here. So y is not in our greatest common factor. Our greatest common factor is 4 times the quantity x plus 1 squared. And that concludes this segment.